Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a peach tart. It is a buttery tart crust with sweet, juicy peaches, and it's topped with an apricot glaze for a shiny finish. So let's get started. First we'll make the tart crust. In a large bowl, add in the flour, powdered sugar, and salt, and mix them until they're combined. Then cut up the cold butter into small cubes. Add it into the mixture. And rub and squeeze the butter into the flour using your fingers until the mixture is fine and about the consistency of breadcrumbs. Then add in the egg yolk and ice cold water. Mix them with the spoon at first. Then use your hands to bring it together into a ball. Wrap the dough in plastic wrap. Flatten it into a disc. The more flat it is, the less rolling it will need after it's chilled. And refrigerate it for at least 30 minutes until it's nice and cold again. Then remove it from the fridge. Lightly flour the work surface and the top of the dough. And roll it out until it's about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch thick and is about 1 to 2 inches larger than the tart pan. Roll up the dough around the rolling pin and unroll it into an ungreased 9-inch tart pan, preferably one with a removable base for easy removal. Or if you don't have a tart pan, you can use a pie pan instead. Lift and lower the crust into the pan and press it all over the inside. And remove the excess crust from the edges. Then place it into the fridge for at least another 20 minutes until the crust is cold again. Meanwhile, preheat the oven to 425 degrees. Remove the crust from the fridge. Use a fork to poke a bunch of holes into the crust to let steam escape while it's baking so it doesn't form a lot of air bubbles. Then we're going to blind bake the crust. To do that, lightly grease a sheet of aluminum foil. Press it on top of the crust, greased sides down. Then weigh it down with something heavy that handles heat well, such as dried beans or rice. This is to weigh it down so it doesn't puff up in the oven. Then bake it in the oven for 12 minutes. Remove the crust from the oven. Turn the oven temperature down to 350 degrees. Carefully remove the dried beans or rice and the aluminum foil. And I set these beans aside until they're completely cooled and then store them in a plastic bag and reuse them every time I'm going to blind bake a crust. Then brush the crust with an egg wash. This is to add a barrier so any liquid from the filling doesn't soak into the crust, making it come out soggy. And place it back into the oven and bake it for another 10 minutes. Then remove it from the oven and set it aside to cool. Then turn the oven temperature up to 375 degrees. To make the filling, first, wash the peaches. Dry them off. Peel them with a vegetable peeler. Then use a sharp knife to cut through the peach, stopping once the knife hits the pit. And turn the peach, cutting all the way around. Pull the two halves apart. and pull out the pit. Cut them into thin slices and keep going for the rest. Place the sliced peaches into a large bowl. Add in some lemon juice and gently toss them to coat the peaches in the lemon juice so they don't turn brown, or at least to keep them from browning any further. Then add in the cornstarch, sugar, and cinnamon, and gently fold them together until they're mixed through, being careful not to break the peaches too much. Place the sliced peaches into the cooled crust, adding just one at a time, curved side facing out, and keep going all the way around and overlap them as necessary. Then cut the butter into small cubes and dot the top of the tart with it. Place the tart onto a sheet pan and bake it in the oven for about 40 minutes until the peaches are tender and juicy. When it's done, remove it from the oven and set it aside to cool slightly. If you like, you can top the tart with an apricot glaze to give it a shiny finish, but it's totally optional. To make it, in a small bowl, add in the apricot jam or preserves, and a bit of water, and heat it in the microwave for 20 to 30 seconds until it's hot and runny. Then stir to combine. Once the tart is cooled enough to handle, carefully transfer it to your serving plate. Then gently brush the top of it with the apricot glaze. Just use as much or as little as you like. You don't have to use all of it. And you can serve it still warm or at room temperature. It's best served still warm. And even better with a scoop of ice cream or whipped cream. And that's how to make a peach tart. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give this video a like and check out my channel for many more videos and subscribe to my channel for more to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.